I'm Portia Hlubi. I'm a director. Feels weird saying that, but yeah, I'm a director for reality formats. So I've worked on some of the biggest shows in the country, like Real Housewives, Uthando Nesthembu. I did the first season of The Manakas. I've done Big Brother, Vodacom Next Level. So yeah, some of the big shows in the country. I've been one of the key people behind them. I am born in Makaya, in a village, I guess, where, our biggest shop is Spar. There's no traffic lights. Our traffic lights are cows. That's where I come from. Ngingane kuluma a lot, and I'm that child when there's family gatherings, I get called to entertain the guests. So and I'm there greeting everyone. So I'm that child, very loud, very talkative. And I'm sort of growing up in this village that I know as a child I'm bigger than, but I don't know why. And my parents is a teacher. I come from a very middle class family, but one thing they know is that they need to take me to a good school. So I go to Model C, school, Ebalungwini. And then I sort of grew up in a white school where I'm doing debating, and I get home debating. It's like, so I'm living in this world where I physically wake up at 6 a.m. to drive to town to go to school and come back to a village that doesn't understand why ngifunda a town. So I get bullied a lot, for being that person. One of my fondest memories as a child that I think I still carry with me. So growing up, I don't know if you know these games we used to play as kids, like Amatini, Shumbu, like after school Sahlangana, we play, the one Maskalope, where you jump in these different teams, right? So I'm growing up in Makaya and I'm always Ioli, right? So Ioli is the person that plays for both teams. As a child, I think I'm the shit, right? Because I play for both teams, do you know what I mean? So in my head, everybody wants me in the team. I'm that great that, you know what, you have me, you have me. So I'm growing up playing these games and, I'm playing for this team, that other team. And as I grow older, I realize only because nobody wants me in the team because I'm actually that bad. But because as a child, it didn't register to me, and because I believed I was that good, it didn't change my perspective on the game that we were playing. So I've taken that as being an adult and in the industry as well, is how you see yourself determines sort of where you go in the world, because it's what you perceive yourself to be. So I had different phases as a teenager. The first phase was I was very nerdy. For me, I'm a hambalana, I'm wearing glasses, I'm hanging out with Tiffany and Samantha, and I'm just like, I'm in the A class, I get to like grade 10, grade 11, and we have to choose subjects where I have to, now sort of, they're gonna shape where I'm going. So I've always known I'm gonna be in media. I never took physics, I never took bio for any. I took tourism, business studies, home economics, because I didn't want things to waste my time, because I knew that I'm going to be in art. And so at the latter part of it, I then become almost a rebel to what has taught me A, B, C, and D. So my family doesn't understand this girl who's just like always in the front, doing things, changing things. So when I come home with the letter and I say, "Ngifunge after," what's after? No, guys, it's a film school. No, there's UJ, there's VIS, there's UP. Where the hell did you get after from? No, it's a film school, I'm gonna go study acting. That's not a tangible job for them. But what happened is my mom is sort of forced to agree. Not because she understands it or she supports it. It's because she's doing it because she can see, why is there fire in my eyes behind the school? So she agrees. And then I go out of high school to my varsity, and I'm going to a school that my first year is equivalent of 3 years in a normal varsity. So for a black middle-class family, it doesn't make sense. So it's really difficult for them to agree to this thing, but eventually they do, and I'm sent off to film school. And I'm only there for a year because money's gone. So I spent my entire parents' education fund that she spent 15 years of her life saving up for 1 year. So then it goes back to ube happy. Do you know what I mean? We told you it's not gonna work. We told you, Mhamsene UJ, she must go to a course that is known, agaba accountant, agaba dokotela, mina ngizokhuluma nge-acting. So it really becomes difficult for my immediate family to tell other people, she's not really going back. So when I know that I don't have the finances or the resources to go to my second year, I also know that I can't go back home because then I failed. So that propels me to fight, to stay in this world that I'm now introduced to in my first year, which is acting and production and TV and writing. So I do acting and I hate it because I'm seeing myself on screen and I'm like, nope, this is not what I signed up for. But film school introduces you to other worlds. Oh, there's a thing called production, what's that? So I do production, I do TV, behind the scenes. So I start learning all these other different departments and I really start getting fond of them. So when I don't come back for second year, I'm literally knocking at production houses saying, hire me just to carry your bag, it is fine. Because I know the price that my family had to pay for me to go there in the first place. Fast forward, I'm an intern at the Wild. And one of my first jobs is to make sure Cisco always has an umbrella. That's all I had to do. Is knock on her door, ask her to come out. It's her show, ne? And minangazu karabo from generations. So now you're asking me, this little girl from the village, to tell Karabo to come out of her room to go shoot. I'm just like, what? Someday, I was Connie. You know, that's my job, to just make sure she has an umbrella. So that's where I started, carrying umbrellas for people, make sure that actors have eaten. I mean, I've had things like milk thrown at me because it's not the right temperature. But you continue because you're in this thing and you like it. And so when I look at the industry today and I look at interns and the attitude they have, I'm like, oh, we've missed the bigger picture of where we started. So I think the industry gave me a shot at the beginning. And as I sort of worked my way up, then it becomes more specific to then who opens the doors when I'm sort of in it. Yeah. So I sort of moved from the field, for lack of a better word, and I'm now in this office in one of the biggest channels in the country. And I remember being there, looking at the space around me, the people around me, and going, wow. It was absolutely amazing. It was just so big. And you must remember, at this point, I'm now working for entertainment and music channels. And so what that does, that it comes with the celebrityness of it. It comes with the glam. It comes with the fanciness of it. And here I am sitting at my desk working during the week, but on the weekends I'm attending all these events and I feel so misplaced. It's so noisy for me. But it's easier for me to say it now, but at that point it didn't feel like I was misplaced. I just felt like I'm lost because it's too loud. But because at that point of my career, I'm so young and I'm so new and I'm moving so fast, I require a lot of validation, right? To say to me, you're here, you deserve to be here. But because I don't have it, I now occupy these spaces without believing in myself. So what that does to you, you move with the movers. And that's a very dangerous place to be in the industry. So I get fired. Sure. And in me getting fired, I literally, out of a lot of things that have led up to this day, I get an email that says, you've got a couple of hours to leave the building. I'm looking around me and I'm like, last weekend, Bengu VIP with this person. So how do I say, bye, I just lost my job? So the story I give is I resigned. No, I got fired. You know, you've been working somewhere for years and you've got 3 hours to leave. So what that then does to you, it just changes the game completely. So I lose all my friends, inverted commas. I lose my reputation and I lose my name. At that point, I feel like, was I sacrificed for other people? Sure. But do I walk out alone or do I drag many? I walk out alone because It's my path, it's my journey. So I get fired and nobody wants to work with me. At that point, I'm angry. Cause you're my friend. What do you mean? I'm sitting on this chair today, so my mind didn't go, hell no, I wasn't gonna work with myself either. Because you come and you're tainted. You come with, Portia, so I've got all these names and all these things that are being thrown at me. You child money, you are easy. And so my talent is gone, my reputation is gone, and I've got labels and I'm wearing them. So I go back home because I'm like, do I come back to the industry? Do I give up? One day, I don't know how, Dineo calls me. She says to me, hey, when I was allowed, I want to work with you. I'm like, excuse me, me? No, you don't want to be associated with me. Trust me, if you know what's good for you. So listen, honey, I don't care, when can you meet? I'm just like, are you sure you want to do this? So what that moment then does says, there's people who still believe in me. And I look at that day today, and as weird as it sounds, I'm so grateful I got fired the way I got fired, because the perspective I have for my life and for the industry and the work that I'm putting in now couldn't have been the same if I had stayed. And because my exit was so scandalous, it forced me to rely on the one thing that was given to me, which is my talent. Not friends, not hype, not validation, not all these sorts of things I was going through, but it forced me to go back and say, why was I here in the first place? To tell stories. So because I'm coming back in the industry with the reputation, I've got nothing else to prove but my talent. So that changes the game. And so when Dineo approaches me and I say, girl, you sure? I'm like, if she can believe in me, I can believe in myself. So that's how I do the Ranaka season 1. And the thing with Dineo was, she didn't even try to hide me. I was like, you sure you want to come with me to that meeting? Because she's like, yeah, sure. And so when I walk back in the same building, and I'm like, yes, because I am not that person, and I will fight for my name. I will fight for my reputation, because I was born with this talent. And because it's already in me, you can't take it away from me. And how dare I believe for one moment that people could take it away from me.